Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. And we are here to do the season finale of The Real Housewives of Potomac. It is over. And I'm actually looking forward to the reunion. So let's get this going. All right, so the episode opens with Karen and Ray. They're calling their wedding coordinator because they have one day to their vow renewal. And she's telling them what to expect. Ray is making sure there's no more butterflies because it was a huge fail. You guys, sorry about all the noise in the background. My heat just makes a little bit of noise, and that's okay because I really need it. It's freezing here. I'm in Chicago. Um, so we find out that Raven, their daughter, is unfortunately she's sick, so she's not going to be able to make it to the vow renewal. So then we have Robin and Juan meeting up with Ashley and Michael to have, I guess, lunch or dinner. And you guys, Michael was extremely happy to see Juan, you could tell. So everybody, hugs and gives their greetings. And then we have them in the confessional where Ashley is saying that, she wants to continue date nights and she knows that Michael loves Juan. And then we get a flashback of Michael going on and on about how amazing Juan is. And we flash back to Ashley glowing. I'm telling y'all, this is her best look ever in this confessional with this tan. Ashley looks amazing with this tan. I know I've said it a billion times, but she does. But she's saying how, Michael loves Juan, and that's all I have to say about that. And this whole thing, you guys, I feel like production was making it super awkward and super weird and super nasty. Like they were all just making nasty comments about their bromance, and I think it's a little bit more than a bromance. Ugh. See, so then we go back to them at the table, and Michael is saying how he's working out every day now. Juan is telling him, yeah, he looks good. Okay, and then we have Robin in the confessional. She has on this orange lipstick. It does not, no, ma'am, you can't wear that. Just don't. Robin looks so much better without makeup or with just very little makeup or natural looking makeup because she's a pretty girl. She don't need all that, especially not orange. Orange, no. But anyway, I digress big time. So they do a flashback of Michael and Juan and all their touching and whispering and loving on each other. And Robin, like I said, in her confessional says how she knows that Michael loves Juan. And then we also get the flashback of Michael or someone saying that Michael said he wants to suck Juan's, So it's all very nasty and awkward. And like I said, the way that they are putting this together, it's like they're doing it on purpose. And also in the confessional, you guys, I don't want to brush past the fact that Robin said that Juan reciprocates the love to Michael. And she's like, I don't know why. And I'm like, I don't know why either, but he really does. And it comes off a little strange as well because when they were at their party last year and Michael was talking about having a Vegas bachelor party and Juan is like, yeah, just me and you. I'm like, why are you feeding into this if you are not liking this? Like, Juan, listen, you better watch him, Robin. So then Robin, because she's messy, decides to ask Michael if he's ever going to come around the group. You're never around the group. What's going on? You already know what's going on. He doesn't like Candace and Chris. So then he starts going into this whole thing about Chris, and I don't even know what he does, and he's living off his wife, and that's not cute. Like, he just goes on this whole tangent, and I cannot stand this man. I cannot stand to look at him or his voice. I feel like he should not be on this show. He just really shouldn't. Like, I don't understand how he's still here. I'm sorry, but Candace is all kind of wrong. Well, I don't want to jump ahead, but let's just say white privilege does exist because he should not still be on this show. We have seen him, and I know I say it in every episode that he's in, but it's true. We have witnessed this man, fondle someone. We saw it. He did it. Why is he still here? So for him to be going on this whole thing about Chris, I was just really irritated and ready for this whole thing to be over. So they decided to move on to more positive talk. And I'm like, I don't think that he knows how to do anything positive. He is the devil. And you guys, I will just never understand why people are so interested in Chris and Candace's money situation. I just don't understand. I don't care that much about anyone's money. I really don't. I don't want anyone to care that much about my money, and I don't care that much about anyone's finances. And I don't understand why it's such a huge topic of conversation for these people. Now, y'all know I don't see it for Robin half the time. Nope, 100% of the time. However, she is feel good. Phil, you got me saying feel good. He's a family member, you guys. He's one of my beautiful people. And Robin is his favorite, but she is not my favorite. However, I can say that she was making sense on this episode. I was not totally against Robin this episode because she in her confessional was saying how Michael never has anything nice to say about them. So what? Why does he have such an issue with what Chris does for a living? He's a chef. So what? Why do you care if Candace's mom helps her out? And, if she can afford to do that, then why do you care? Same thing I was just saying. And she was just like, he has this elitist type of attitude toward them. And he does. He does. So you better preach, Robin, in your orange lipstick. See, I couldn't even get through it without shading her. But she did good that time. You guys, this scene ran forever and ever and ever because we are already 6 minutes in on this review and it is all about this one scene pretty much. And we're not even done. So I'm kind of over it. So I'm going to speed through. Ashley starts talking about them having another baby and Robin is kind of on the fence and she's like, listen, Juan wasn't really there last time. She kind of was shitting on him, but if that's what it was, then that's what it was. But she was letting it hang out that he didn't really help before. So she kind of don't want to fall into that again. And that's the gist of it. Yeah. All right, so Candace gets a record deal. Chris and her mom, of course, goes with her to sign the papers. Boom, that's that. And that's no shade to Candace. Listen, Candace is fine. She's ridiculous. Her mouth is ridiculous, but I'm happy for her. She got a record deal. Good for her. And then, god damn it, we're back with Robin and Juan again. We're back with them again. Jesus. They're going into Robin's warehouse. Okay, so she secured some space so that she can get her hats, her very, very unattractive hats out on time. Good for her. They start talking about the baby thing again. She reiterates again how he did not help her last time, so I'm not falling for that shit again, basically is what she was saying. He gets pissed off and he's like, nah, you dogging me, Rob. like she's his boy. Rob, you're making me look shitty. And I'm like, first of all, Juan, if that's how you really acted, just own it and say, she's continued. She said this the entire time because they've shown flashback after flashback of her saying the same thing. He wasn't there. He didn't change diapers. He didn't help. So this is her truth. And if you did it, and you probably did, why don't you just own it and say, okay, I'm not like that anymore. I'm going to be here for you. You could have squashed it just like that. However, he's pissed off really because she's making him look like shit on TV, basically. So he's like, you keep doing this. You keep saying it. I'm done. He takes off the mic. She's chasing after him. And, basically he's like, it's 13 years later. I'm not going to do the same thing. And I'm like, 13 years later, who wants to start over from scratch? 13 years later anyway, dude. I feel like I see what they're doing, you guys, because when he rolled that window up on her, he was laughing and she had a smirk on her face. I feel like this whole baby talk and everything is for them to definitely have a storyline next year, to come back next season. And we don't want you. We don't want you guys back. We don't care if you have 29 kids, get married 29 more times. We have zero interest in you guys anymore. So beat it, okay? Because I really do feel like this is a storyline. It really is. Now, let me be clear. Him being pissed off because she keeps bringing up the fact that he didn't help, I feel like that's real, and he was pissed off for real because maybe they talked about having a baby as a storyline, but not you constantly throwing me under the bus. Like, I feel like he was mad about that for real, but I really do feel like this is a setup that they coming with to, bring us the bullshit, and we don't want to hear it. So we now see all the ladies getting ready, and Robin and Giselle FaceTime, and Giselle is like, Juan's don't know it yet, but he's gonna be my date too. And I'm like, I'm sure he does know it. He definitely knows it. And Robin lets her know that Juan is not very happy with me right now. All right, so we're making it to the venue. Ray arrives first. Well, Karen arrives first, and then Ray arrives, and he's like, "Where's the red carpet?" Then he walks in, and he goes, "Ooh," because it really is. It's pretty. The outside, like Mia said in another episode, it looks very warehousey for sure. But the inside, beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. So Candace, Chris, and her mama pull up. Her mama is always with them. I swear, she is just always with them. I don't know how Chris does it. I don't. But they pull up, and Candace, with her inappropriate ass, is like, where are we? It's ugly. It's ugly. First thing she says is it's ugly. And they show her wedding. Yeah, her wedding was beautiful, but she, her mom is like, oh, so this is it? Like, they're just real, oh my God, they're so inappropriate, these people. So Mia and G make it, and she's nice when she get out the car. She's like, oh, this is nice. And I think it's because she's been there already, so she knew what to expect. Because if not, of course, she would have said something inappropriate as well. We know Mia. But now they all have an issue with the stairs. Oh my God, stairs. And then I looked and I'm like, yeah, they look a little slippery, but it wasn't like a billion of them. And why don't y'all move over and hold on if you're that scary? Like, it wasn't that big of a deal, but they all had an issue with the stairs. All right, nah, I'm playing. If I had on heels, I would have been mad about them damn stairs too. I'm tripping. So Ashley comes and she's talking to Candace's mom, and they talk about how they haven't seen each other in forever. Candace is over there telling Chris, I'm not giving an ogre any life. And I'm like, she's just always so negative. Candace always has something to say. Jesus. But Giselle comes, and she would have did all right. You guys, Giselle almost made it except for the freaking gym shoe. I'm sorry. I understand that you have this boot on because your foot or your ankle or something is broken. We keep seeing this big ass boot. However, you can still try to wear a cute little shoe. Even if it wasn't a high heel, you could wear some kind of sparkly flat, something cute other than sparkly gym shoes. It's just so Giselle. It is. All right, so Wendy makes it to the party, and Eddie tries to get her out the car, and Wendy, y'all know I'm about to use my favorite word, just ridiculous. This dress being too tight, so tight that you couldn't even sit up in the car. You had to lean over. You couldn't get out. Like, how does that make sense? Who wants to go somewhere and be uncomfortable all night? And I'm sorry, when she got out the car, we all know she got her body done. It looks amazing. However, in that dress, it did not. It was not flattering. You could see where it was super tight, and you could see the creases and everything else. And it just wasn't smart. It wasn't smart, Wendy. But it was funny because as Eddie's trying to get her out the car, he's like, okay, all right, okay. Like he was acting like he was really doing surgery or doing something huge that he could not wrap his head around. I'm like, Eddie, just get her out the car. So Wendy makes it up the stairs, and she speaks, and she even speaks to Robin. She says, hi, Robin. And Robin says, hi, Wendy. And then Candace is like, did you speak to Giselle? And Wendy's like, well, did you ask her, did she speak to me? And she keeps telling her, don't do that. And, Candace is like, well, you spoke to Robin, so why not? And I'm like, Candace, she acts so childish all the time. She makes it really, really hard to like her and be on her team because she just does dumb shit all the time. Then we have Wendy being unable to sit down. And when she does sit down, she looks a mess. It looks a mess, her sitting down like that. Giselle is over there telling Robin and Juan how Wendy came in and didn't speak to her. She is very pressed. Giselle is very pressed by the fact that Wendy is not pressed about her. She is. Talking about she's very insecure. How is that insecure? Ma'am. Ascala comes in. She looks amazing. She has on this yellow dress. She looks good. Okay, so Ascala grew on me, you guys, and JB. You guys, if you don't watch him, JB says what? You gotta check him out. And it says with a Z. But he's liked Ascala the whole time, and of course I didn't because she used to just insert herself. However, he's right. She's cool. She actually makes sense. The stuff that she says makes sense. So I like Ascala. I wouldn't be mad if she came back full time next year. But her and her husband look nice, and they arrive. Then we have Giselle lying, talking about she's dating a young commentator about 35 years old. And Robin is like, is he local? I'm like, oh, so Robin doesn't even know about him? Is someone lying? So then the producer keeps asking questions, and Giselle is just constantly like, it's none of your business. It's none of your business. And I'm like, yeah, because he does not exist. He is like the snuffleupagus. Now, a lot of y'all might be too young to understand that reference, but it is a thing. All right, so then we see a really good moment, you guys. It really was, where they were all smiling at Karen. She looked beautiful. Her dress was beautiful. G was like, that's a hell of a dress. And it was. Like, all the ruffles and all of that, I'm into it. So I loved it. Again, getting her up the stairs was a whole thing, but I just love the way everybody was supporting her. Even Giselle was hollering out, do that two-step, Karen. So when they get along and they support each other, I love it. Like Candace and Ashley were sitting right next to each other and they had smiles on their faces. Of course, it wasn't towards each other, but just seeing them both right next to each other with a smile, it was good. It was heartwarming. So as the pastor is talking, he's saying a whole lot of stuff about friendship. So we see Giselle's face when she's looking confused, and in the confessional, she's like, are they friends or what? And then she says, you know what? I was going to say a lot of mean stuff. I was going to say some stuff. And she was like, I'm going to shut up because me and Karen need to stay in a good place. And then she said, I'm just saying, it would make sense all of the DMs she be sliding in. Okay, so they say their vows, and it was really sweet because it looked like Ray got a little choked up. But when they were done and had to come down the stairs, oh my God. The music and the way everybody was looking, and they were worried because here we have Ray. He's like 90, and then we have Karen in this big ass dress, and they're like, hold on to something, grab the handles, and then the music and everybody's faces, oh my God, when I tell you I was cracking up. And when they finally made it down, everybody was like, whoo. So they end up having their first dance to Macy Gray. She's all the way upstairs, can't nobody see her. They're like, is that Macy Gray? Yeah, you can't not know her voice. It's Macy Gray. Yeah, I cannot stand the Real Housewives producers. When Macy starts singing, Ray yells out, this is Macy's new song, Sugar Baby. First of all, it's Sweet Baby. Secondly, they put it was released in 2001. I can't stand them. All right, so while they're dancing, not Candace, what's her name? Karen starts going down low, and then you see G saying, take it low, and then you hear the music go, and Mia is in the confessional saying, I got my eyes on Gordon. I'm like, because he got his eyes on Karen. Then who pulls up? The devil himself. Michael makes it there, and for some reason, Ashley goes running to him like she didn't just get out of the bed with him a few hours earlier ill. And he's like, oh, really? Like, he was surprised too. I'm like, girl, you should calm down. So, of course, Michael makes a beeline for Juan. So, Juan standing there hugging him. Like I said, got his arm around his neck and everything. Oh, you never met Gordon? So, he meets Gordon. You can tell that he's being really shady to Gordon because Ashley has already gone back and reported how Gordon acts when he has some cocktails. So what's his name? Michael, who thinks he's better than everyone and don't like anyone except Juan, feels like he, is better than Gordon. So you could just see the shade from the way he was talking to him, but not really looking at him. I'll be watching that type of stuff. So Candace is on the other side of the room, busy telling Ascala how she cannot stand Michael. He is insufferable. And she says, listen, I don't get along with Ashley. However, I think he's not good enough for her. He is morally corrupt, and he's not good enough for her. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. So we're at the table with the men and the ladies, and of course, Giselle has to talk to Michael, and she's like, you know what? We have gotten into it. We've been able to squash it. He's like, yeah, because you're a very intelligent woman. You can hold on a conversation. And again, he's giving digs at Chris, and Chris is being nice, and he's just sitting there looking, but Michael is pushing it with his stinking ass. So Chris leans over and he says, listen, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna let you get back to your dinner and I ain't gonna mess with you. But what happened last year happened and I ain't got no problem letting it go. And I'm like, good. Don't apologize to him, Chris. Do not, because you didn't do anything wrong. So Michael says, I have a really long memory and I don't like people being mean to my wife. And my whole thing is, who was mean to your wife? Candace was. Chris was not. So what are you talking about? You were mad at Chris because he laid hands on you because you were very inappropriate coming over to tell him at the party last season, oh, you need to get your wife. And Chris was like, no, who are you talking to? And Michael just did not know how to act when a real man stood up to him. So that's the whole problem. Chris was never mean to your wife. So Chris even tells him that. He's like, look, the way you came to me, I felt like was disrespectful. So then they start going back and forth because Michael is belligerent. He's just a jerk. And he's like, if you want to apologize, just apologize. Juan gets up and moves over to the other side of the table where they are. And I'm like, why wouldn't you get in between them? Like, for some reason, they're sitting right next to each other. Oh, Ashley went to go get a drink. Probably another Corona because she has zero class. But Juan goes and he's like, hold up, Chris, don't say nothing. Chris is like, I'm just putting my napkin down. While Michael is telling him, listen, if you want to apologize. Why would he want to apologize to you? What is he apologizing for? So again, Michael is like, Chris, if you put your hands on me, you should apologize. And again, Robin is making sense. See, I told y'all this episode, she did really well. She was like, Michael, you can't sit there and act like you did nothing wrong. He's like, what did I do? So Candace gets up and she's like, this is the whitest privilege I've ever seen. And she storms out. He's like, what? What did she say? What did she say? He heard what she said. And I'm sorry, it's true. Candace, her mouth, listen, we're just gonna leave that as that. But this time she was right, because it's total white privilege. The fact that he's still just sitting there is complete and total white privilege. And he has the nerve to say, how far can this woman go? Pretty much saying, how much are y'all gonna let her get away with? And I'm like, no, how much are they gonna let you get away with? You're still sitting there too. He has so much nerve. Oh my God, he pissed me off so bad. So then we have Giselle and Juan facilitating this phony makeup. Oh, can you guys at least, agree not to disrespect each other's wives? And Chris is all in because he's over it. But of course, Michael is looking crazy because he's an ass. He shakes his hand, but he doesn't really feel it. They're like, can we get a hug? He's like, no hug. But he will hug Juan. He will hug him very tightly. And he does. Giselle says, clearly that's all Michael wanted, a hug from Juan. That's why this apology went down real quick. So everyone's dancing. Karen went to go change into a more comfortable dress, I guess. And they're doing the electric slide. Wendy is trying really hard in her red dress that she can barely move in. And her boobs are falling out, boots falling out. And her husband is like, titties everywhere. And then we have Michael saying, listen, I'm going to have to get out of here soon. And Juan is like, yeah, so am I. And then Michael's like, yeah. And I'm like, ew. But Robin is just like, why do you have to leave? And he's like, yeah, my Uber's going to be here. I got to work. Oh, goodness. Robin, he don't fool with you, girl. How many times we got to tell you that? Oh, I think I failed to mention that right after they had their whole, we are going to get along, Juan went back over to the other side of the table to sit down, and Michael gave him the nastiest wink. Nastiest wink. Ugh. But anyway, Juan is leaving. Michael's looking. Robin's looking. They're both looking uncomfortable. And then we see Chris and Candace standing over on the wall, and he's pissed off about the whole white privilege thing. He's trying to tell her, you do too much. She's like, no, but it really is, like there's just no calming her down. And of course, she's super disrespectful. She's just like, you need to shut the F up talking to me. And I'm just like, Candace does too much. She just goes way too far. She does. She's okay and she's fine. Her reads are funny sometimes when she's not saying the same thing over and over. But I just feel like the disrespect that she gives to her husband, I be feeling sorry for Chris. I really do. All right, so here we go, wrapping it up. Ashley is thriving in her mommyhood. She's still not keen on Michael's movie making dreams. She'd prefer he focus less on producing and more on reproducing baby number three. Girl, what is wrong with you? So Mia and Gordon are dancing and he's yelling out, somebody got some ones? Somebody got some ones? I'm like, these people will never let her forget that she was a stripper, ever, including her husband. But anyway, let's wrap up Mia. Mia and her mother continue to work on their relationship. Gordon and Mia are currently building a new home and plan to have a suite for mom. The budget is not low. Boom, Candace, in your face. I want to see that happen though, y'all. I kind of feel like I don't believe it. Did Gordon and the mom make up? And you know what? Let me just speak on this real quick. I know we're running long, but I didn't do last week. Gordon and Mia were wrong for asking her mom to continue to watch them kids after she'd already watched them for a few days and said your oldest son was a bit much to handle. This is her first time really watching them. Why would you want to extend your trip and do another little mini vacation or whatever? She was done. Like, it was too much. So yeah, and I feel like G is always up to argue with women. It's not cool. If she's calling your wife over and over again and she got your kids, obviously something's going on. Call her and don't call her being combative like, oh my God, why are you blowing Mia's phone up? God damn it, because I got her kids and I want her to come get them, period. So yeah, G and Mia were wrong. And I feel like Mia was wrong for putting her mom on this whole entire season. She made her mom look bad. All right, and let's wrap up Giselle. Giselle is no longer dating her mystery man and instead had a hot girl summer. Oh, really? Was there really a mystery man? Really, Giselle? She's practicing being more emotionally available, but much like Hotel Giselle, they so foul for that, it's a work in progress. All right, and so let's wrap up Wendy. So Wendy and Eddie are dancing out. Eddie is funny. Her boobs are just again falling all out everywhere. He's like, yes. But let's wrap her up. Wendy is still loving Happy and Ness and all of her tweaks. She is currently working on a memoir and preparing for the release of her candle, which she will not be limiting to one wick. Oh, now you want to copy out Karen with the 3 wicks because no one does 1 wick. And I'm going to tell y'all something. No one even does, I still got 3 wicks. However, y'all better get with those wood wicks, okay? Sounding like a whole fireplace. Y'all better get with it. So then we have Candace and Escala dancing. 2 cute, beautiful chocolate women. They look so cute. Holding hands, doing a little 2-step or a little dance. And Escala's like, are you having a good time? Yes, besides the bullshit, yeah. So let's wrap Candace up. Candace has released her full-length album, Deep Space, to great success. Chris is still acting as her husbander despite Dorothy's concerns. Chris and his mother-in-law now barely speak. Good, because she's always with them. Ma'am, stay home. Have your own business. Do something. But you are not married to Chris, so I don't care. Y'all, I be going on a tangent. Let me just stop. All right, that's wrapping them up. So then we have Karen saying that the vow renewal went off without a hitch. It was very nice. And she's like, something for them to kind of aspire to, Giselle and Robin. And she's like, Robin and Juan, good luck. And I'm like, they just cannot help but shade each other. So it's fine. And then they show Robin looking pissed off because Juan is gone. But let's wrap up Robin. Robin and Juan have moved into their new home where there is enough room for another baby Dixon. See, that's what I'm talking about. Next season. We don't care about another baby Dixon. Jesus. The couple has still not set a wedding date, but Michael has several leads on bachelor party venues. I'm sure he does, and that would be just for 2. Anyway, you guys, thank you. 30 minutes or so. Oh my God, unbelievable. It's too long. I'm sorry. But if you are still here, you are the real MVP, and I appreciate you. You have no idea how much. And again, I want to welcome my new subbies. Thank you. And if you have not subscribed, please do. If you have been here watching anything, it would just be very nice if you subscribed and became part of the beautiful family. Let's do it. But I will see you guys. You guys, I think I'm gonna do Insecure, but I'm not gonna be able to do it until after work tomorrow because I have so much stuff that I need to watch tonight. I gotta do Succession, not do it, but I gotta watch it. I gotta watch Insecure. I need to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. If y'all don't watch that, what are you really doing with your life? Because Curb Your Enthusiasm would probably be my favorite of all time. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff to watch. So I will probably do Insecure tomorrow. And again, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and smooches. I will see you guys tomorrow.